Hello there and welcome to day 21 of my Lexical Lab 2018 Summer School video diaries. Today we started our final course of the 6 weeks that we run summer school for. This is a 2-week course called English Boost, which is basically for pretty much advanced level students, students around the B1, B2, a couple of them possibly even pushing C1 kind of level. And it's a lovely group. We're going to be seeing them every day over the next 2 weeks. We have students from Tajikistan, from Italy, a couple of students from Estonia, a couple of Georgians and a couple of Russians on the course. And a lot of what we're doing is talking about topics that students themselves pre-select. So we send a range of different topics out for them to choose from and to think about things they'd like to learn more language about and learn to discuss more. And we come up with tasks and activities and exercises that help students to, discuss some of the topics and to explore some of the language connected to the topics. The focus is particularly on speaking and listening over the 2 weeks. And what's interesting is a lot of students already at this level have learned pretty decent English, but often quite formal English, so that, you may get questions like, do you have any siblings? As opposed to, have you got any brothers or sisters? You may get, what's your occupation? As opposed to, what do you do for a living? One of the things that we do quite a lot, both Andrew and myself, is what sort of recently become known as kind of dogma teaching or teaching unplugged. Or as I prefer to think of it, and I think as it used to be called before it got branded and packaged, listening to students and trying to help them say the things that they want to say. And when you do that, one of the things you realise is that actually it's rarely structural grammar, particularly at this level for students, that causes the real problems. I'll give you a quick example of some of the things that we ended up writing on the board today. Okay, you can decide for yourself how grammatically complex they are, despite the fact that they're clearly kind of advanced level bits of language. So we had things like, don't be so hard on yourself. Someone's doing well out of that bridge. He's a bit of a control freak. He never just lets me get on with my job. He gets wound up quite easily. I know it winds a lot of people up, but personally it doesn't really bother me all that much. He doesn't do his fair share of the work. He doesn't pull his weight at work. It took me a while to find my niche. Now, when you look at those grammatically, you've got a negative imperative, don't be. You've got a present continuous, someone's doing well out of that bridge. You've got a present simple, he's a bit of a control freak, he never lets me get on with my job, he gets wound up quite easily. I know it winds a lot of people up, but it doesn't really bother me all that much. You've got more present simple, he doesn't do his fair share of the work, he doesn't pull his weight. And then you've got past simple, it took me a while to find my niche. And it's interesting because I think when you work from course books often tend to make grammar the main focus, even at the higher levels. And, as you can see from this kind of language, when you're working from things that students attempt to say themselves, and you're reformulating those ideas or listening to them saying, yeah, I know what you mean. I think the way I would say this would be, and then giving them those ways of saying things, it's almost always on a kind of phrasal or a collocational kind of level. Sometimes it's also on a sort of register level where there's maybe just a more everyday informal way of saying things that you try to help students with. So that's what I was thinking about today in the immediate aftermath of teaching this particular group. I'm now going to go off and use my photographs of all of the board work, a couple of which I'll post below this video, as the basis of some revision for tomorrow. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Bye.